Hi everyone, hope you all are good. Today our topic is generation of computer. Do you know about the generation of computer? Generation of computer terminology, which means change in technology of computer, was being used. Before the generations, we were used only hardware technologies. But the generation is called the varying hardware technologies day by day. Nowadays, the generation includes both hardware and software, which together make up an entire computer system. Do you know how many generations are there? There are 5 computer generations. Let's we start about the first generation. The period of first generation was from 1946 to 1959. Can you think about our first generation computer, how it will be? The computers of first generation used as vacuum tubes as a basic component for memory and CPU. CPU, which means Central Processing Unit. What is that? Vacuum tubes. The first generation of computers used vacuum tubes as the basic component. On that time, they were very expensive, so that only large organizations were able to afford it. Do you know how we can give the instructions to computer in first generation? The computers in this generation used machine code as the programming language. Second generation. The period of second generation was from 1959 to 1965. In this generation, transistors were used. The second generation, magnetic core were used as the primary memory and the magnetic tap and magnetic disk as secondary storage device. Do you know how we give instructions to the computer in second generation? Assembly language and high-level programming language. We used assembly language and high-level programming language. It will be like COBOL, Fortran, for example. Is that the computer used batch processing and multi-programming operating system. Third generation. The period of third generation was from 1965 to 1971. The computers of third generation used integrated circuit IC in place of transistor. High-level language were used during this generation. For example of high-level language is Fortran, Pascal, COBOL, BASIC, etc. These are the high-level languages which are used in the computer in third generation for giving the instructions. Fourth generation. The period of fourth generation was from 1971 to 1980. Computers of fourth generation used very large scale integrated circuit, which means VLSI. It will become more powerful and more reliable and affordable. In this fourth generation period, we used high-level languages like C, C++, database, etc. were used in this generation. Supercomputer is an example of the fourth generation. Fifth generation. The period of fifth generation started from 1980 to this date. In this fifth generation, VLSI technology became ULSI. This generation is based on both hardware and AI, which means artificial intelligence, software. All the high-level languages like C, C++, Java, .NET, etc. are used in this generation. Some computer types of this generations are desktop, laptop, notebook, ultrabook, Chromebook, etc. First generation we used vacuum tubes, and the second generation we use the transistors, and the third generation we used integrated circuit, and the fourth generation we use very large scale integrated circuit, which means VLSI, and the fifth generation we use VLSI technology became ULSI, ultra, which means. Hope you everyone understood the topic about computer generation from the first generation to fifth generation. If you have any doubt, we will see in the comment box. Thank you.